Good afternoon and welcome to the Nasrec's Boxing Arena. Today, Gary Murray from Cape Town takes another step into international stardom when he takes on Kenneth from Jackson, Tennessee in America. This is his second overseas fight against an overseas fighter since he was dropped here on this ring by Maurice Griggs, a fighter who actually took the steam out of Gary Murray. We saw him fight against Abe Martinez, but let us see whether this man is able to get up from the ashes. We also saw Gary Murray getting up and his fight against Deruan being named the fight of the year for 1991. Gary Murray surely in 1990 was also prospect of the year, and we hope this man, Gary Murray, could stand up from the ashes and show us exactly what is he made up of. We've heard earlier that his boxers are now being handpicked by promoter Mike Seeger, and therefore this man is fighting a man who did not look like a welterweight to a lot of boxing experts. A man who during the week was 3 kilograms over the weight, and therefore today's fight is a catchweight fight over 10 rounds. Now, in the ring, we have champions, we have Dingaan Tomela, we have Shigaboy Malinga, who tried unsuccessfully to take the title from Chris Eubank. We have Anthony Wade, who's come to fight Corey Saunders. We have Matala and the new champion, and congratulations to our producer, Victor Bianca, for bringing out a new champion, South African champion, in Gorilla Siswana. We also have Mike Seagull, we have Murphy too, and we hope to see a very, very good fight here tonight. Therefore, for the tail of the tape, I'm giving you over to Bert Blewett.
Well, let's have a look at the tail of the tape. When it comes up on screen, we know, for example, and there's the tail of the tape. You'll notice that there's an advantage to Gary Murray. He's 24 compared to Kidd's 28. And there's also a height advantage for Kidd. So he's slightly, and he's got a reach advantage. So it's height and reach, very important differences in boxing. Well, that was a very rare clinch. We haven't seen many of those in this fight so far. The men have been
die linker hakke wat die verwoestende werk gedoen het. Telling van 8 word aangehoor in ronde nummer 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to South Africa's own forum, where today Top Sport, Mike Siegel Productions and Willard Batteries, the power behind the power, present international boxing in today's The Day of the Stars. This bout is sanctioned by the South African Board Commission. The executive director is the one and only Mr. Stan Christodoulou. The doctor at the ringside, Dr. Klabi. The timekeeper, Mr. Simon Pooh. This bout is governed by the rules and regulation of the South African Boxing Board. The 3 judges scoring this bout are Judge Radebi Skitter and Judge Goba. The referee, Judge Bukwana. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Golden City of South Africa, let's get ready to mix 10 rounds of boxing in the international welterweight division, over 10 rounds. And now let's welcome, fighting out of our left corner,
gloves.
And let's let's welcome Gary Murray.
Wow, here comes the heat himself, Gary Murray. And goodness knows there's a lot of heat in this arena this afternoon. There he is, Gary the Heat Murray.
Coming into the ring to the thin fall from Rocky. Well, Gary Murray looking like a pencil compared to Kenneth Kidd.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now introducing. He's fighting out of the right-hand side corner. He's sporting white and black trunks and weighing in at 67.60 kilos. His record of 30 fights, 21 wins and 9 losses. All the way from Indianapolis in the US of A, let's welcome Kenneth the Kid. And he's wearing white trunks with red trimmings, weighing in at 67.60 kilos. His record of 15 fights with 14 wins and 1 loss. Voted South Africa's Prospect of the Year. All the way from Cape Town, a big hand for Gary the Heat Murray.
I've both spoken to him in the dressing room. I want you to get fine. When I say break and take a step back, right? Shake hands and come on, fight.
Well, that one lost by Gary Murray. He lost it in this ring against Maurice Griggs.
Yes, those will be very bad memories for Gary Murray. He was stopped in 126 seconds, and let's hope that doesn't happen this afternoon. Murray, of course, a southpaw. You see him boxing with the right foot forward. He's up against a much more experienced opponent in Kenneth Kidd. He's had 30 fights. Murray's only had 15.
Well, he should be very careful because Kenneth Kidd has caught him twice with that right hand of his, that right punch on the chin.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Kidd knows all about how Maurice Griggs stopped Murray, and I'm sure he's going to follow pretty much the same strategy, looking to nail Murray with right hands to the head.
An impressive show of confidence from Murray.
Murray has tried to tighten his defense since that loss to Maurice Griggs, holding his hands a little higher, you'll notice. But he is basically a pressure fighter, and I don't think you can change your style too much if you're a pressure fighter.
Well, Murray got some punches of his own.
Well, Kidd looking very relaxed here in round 1. Unperturbed so far. And although both men weighed in at 67.60, Kidd looks by far the bigger of the two.
Well, I looked at his leg. I found his legs are pencil legs. Very thin down and he's big upstairs.
Break. Break.
Well, a little bit of controversy during the week on this fight. Kenneth Kidd tipping the scales 3 kilograms heavier than the normal weight, and Gary Murray not here for the medical examination.
Yes, that's not quite in accordance with the new safety code rules, and they seem to have changed the rules in midstream because they changed the fight from welterweight to what's become a catchweight bout, basically to accommodate Kenneth Kidd.
Gary throwing solid punches to the head. He doesn't throw a lot of punches to the body of Kidd.
And the body shots are coming from Kidd, who also holds his hands a little on the low side, you notice.
Good push. Good push.
Well, Murray beat him to the punch there in that exchange. Oh, right to the head, and that kid is down. That one landed high on the side of the kid's head. Didn't look to have all that sort of power, but very effective.
Okay.
That's an 8 count. And there's the bell. Now that really is a case of being saved by the bell, Benelli.
Surely, yes, he was saved by the bell. I did not see that punch, but it came like lightning. As Gary has been fighting very, very convincingly, especially in the first round.
The right foot is going to be on the outside, and you let your hands down a little bit too far. All right? Watch your feet.
We have some replay from that first round, and Murray measuring Kid, hitting him with that left, followed with, well, no, the right didn't go in there. But it was, as I recall, it was a right hand that dropped Kid, and yes, it was. Didn't quite connect, went high on the side of the head. So obviously it was the effects of that first punch that hurt the American. More replay from a different angle. Murray throwing the left hand. Remember, he is a southpaw. That seemed to hurt Kid, and the right hand high on the side of the head just toppled him over.
Well, round number 2, scheduled for 10, the international catchweight between Gary Murray and Kenneth Keith. Murray a lot more confident than he was in the first round. Probably that knockdown gave him the confidence.
Yes, well, you can see the Murray, of course, is noted for fighting in very, very long shorts. I've said this before and I say it again. You notice he's got that red stripe on the side of his trunks. Kid boxing in a white, the more conventional black with white.
Break.
Well, Murray still measuring Kid with that right jab. Remember, he is a southpaw.
Well, after that knockdown, nothing has been coming from Keith so far.
Well, I think Kid was a little surprised to go down there in the first round. He had started reasonably well. Suddenly hit with that left from Murray. And of course, Murray being a southpaw, the left hand is more powerful than the right as a rule.
Rhythm correct, the punches, finding Kid, who seemed to have donned the kid gloves now.
Yes, there's very little coming back from Kenneth Kidd, and Murray picking his shots well, not going wild, I'm happy to see. Boxing basically from behind that right jab, Demeli.
Kenneth Kidd has lost his rhythm.
He's lost his rhythm, he's lost his urge to fight.
Watch your head.
Looks a little confused right now.
Mind your head. Mind your head.
Well, if Kidd's going to get back into this fight, he's simply going to have to start punching. He's throwing very little leather here in the second round.
Watch your head. Break. Gary, watch your head.
Now, Kidd is shown the way to retreat. Very strong punches from Gary Murray.
Break. Don't use your head. Break.
Murray was smothering Kidd with punches against the ropes, and referee Corner had to warn him those not to use the head. He's come to the end of round 2.
Listen, when you hurt him over the top, okay? I want you down there. Go back off the ropes. You understand? Go back, then go forward, okay? Not to the head, son, please, okay? Don't move into his right hand. His hands are starting to labor now, okay? He's laboring. So now what I want from you is a quicker hand,
from that second round. Murray driving Kidd back towards the ropes with a straight left. missing with the right, catching Kid with the left, partially as he had him against the ropes. And we saw little, if anything, coming back from Kid. He was shaken from that knockdown late in the first round and hadn't quite got his act together here in the second.
Second round, round number 3.
Round 3 scheduled for 10. Even here, Bert, I noticed Gary Murray also throws those punches without the body following the punches.
Yes, it's very much a question of arm punches, but that's a good one. He put a bit of shoulder behind that. That was the kind of punch that hurt Kid in round 1, that straight left.
Well, Gary Murray is overwhelming this man here.
One of Murray's advantages, of course, is that he has very good hand speed. He may not hit with devastating power, but he does have good hand speed, and he's picking his shots well here in the third round.
Oh, no.
Good one. Kid walked right into that.
Gary walks right into one from
And
Kid.
so did Murray. If my arithmetic is correct, I think Murray was hit by 4 right hands in a row and seemed to hurt him just a little.
Break.
Murray's backing off a bit here. Backing off just a little bit, coming forward now as he forces Kid against the ropes.
Mind ahead. Mind ahead. Mind ahead.
Although Kenneth Kidd had to shed a lot of weight after coming in 3 kilograms over the limit.
Well, Gary Murray, as you can see in the white trunks with a red stripe. Kenneth Kidd in the white and the black, the conventional trunks. And Kidd taking quite a bit of punishment there on the ropes, Demelli.
Surely that's where Gary wants him. If you listen to Jack Bryce, he's told him to, when he gets him against the ropes, must move back and come into the body and leave the head alone. And one thing Gary has not been doing thus far.
Well, Murray is essentially a headhunter. I can understand why they would want him to go to the body, because with Kid having had to reduce considerable weight for this fight, the intention is to slow him down.
So
He's already slowed down to a walk in any event.
Yes, he has. Yeah, throwing some good punches there. Those punches seem to find their target from Kidd. Gary Murray fights back.
Oh,
no! 1,
tremendous
2,
left to the head, and I don't think he's going to get up with that.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, out.
Gary Murray scores another knockdown. And one can probably ask the question whether was Kenneth Kidd a worthy opponent after after Maurice Griggs?
Well, I would say he was. I mean, it's very hard to judge. He's American, Giovanni. You can only go on the record, and the record shows that he had 30 fights, of which he won 21. And very difficult to match South Africans against overseas opponents on that basis. But so here we see Murray having won this fight in a knockout in the third round. A very good win for him, and perhaps the start of a very successful 1992. The punch that finished this fight was an absolute beauty. Let's have a look at it here in the replay. Murray always looking to land this left, and here it is, bang on the button. No, that's not quite the punch, because that was perhaps a moment earlier. Kid coming back with some shots ahead. There it is. A left high on the side of the head, similar to the punch that dropped Kid in the first round, and he went down. This time he didn't get up. More action, more replay from a different angle. And we have some more of this replay. You can see Murray driving Kid back against the ropes. There's the shot, high on the side of the head, and Kid going down. Now we're going to the ring for an interview with Gary Murray by Dimitri Mateza.
Very big, Danu. What do you have in mind after this?
To be quite honest with you, I'd like to challenge for the SA title, but that's a decision that's up to my manager. See, my manager and trainer.
What should we expect now?
Well, Gary's in the learning process still. He's in the learning process, and until such time when I feel he's ready to go for the SA title, we'll go for the SA title in consultation with Mike Siegel, and but we'll keep learning. We'll keep learning, and we'll be back on the top.
According to newspaper reports, you're going to get a rematch with Maurice Griggs. Is that on the cards?
That is on the cards, very much so, and I believe Mike Siegel wants it in Cape Town, and I think it's going to be a great fight for South African boxing fans and for SABCV Top Sport.
Gary, would you like that?
Very much so. I owe him more than one, actually. He dethroned my unbeaten record, which I'm glad he did because I've improved because of it. But I want to get him back, even the score.
A lot of people believe you're some sort of a headhunter. Your corner told you to go to the body on a number of occasions, judging from the fact that this man had to shed some weight to come into this fight. And he didn't do that.
Yeah, he did. But the thing is, he shouldn't have been that weight anyway. He was I wanted to fight as a welterweight. That's my division.
That's right.
And he came in over, so I had to come in over as well.
Well, surely Gary Murray on the road to stardom here. And Gary, we wish you all the luck and good luck, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Domini Matiza. And there you have it, Gary Murray having knocked out
2 minutes 58, Gary the Heat Murray.
There's your official announcement. Gary the Heat Murray having won on a knockout in the third round.
And let's give a big hand to Kenneth.
Murray, of course, has said at the Boxer of the Year Awards that he's aiming to become Boxer of the Year for 1992. He's made a good start, and don't forget he'd like to challenge Gorilla Siswana for that welterweight title. A very good performance indeed from Gary Murray. He's looking forward now to that fight with Maurice Griggs, a return fight in Cape Town coming up soon. Meanwhile, back to studio.